you guys, it's Taja back for another YouTube video, and I hope this video finds all of y'all in good health and good spirits and just living your life and being kind and being easy on yourself. I'm not really feeling 100%. I feel like my body is trying to fight off a cold or something, so it's like really uncomfortable to talk, but I really wanted to just make a quick video just kind of like recapping and expressing myself as far as like what has happened this year. I'm not gonna go through every month of the year, but I just really want to talk about it. I'm really hoping that me talking about this year proves to be therapeutic for me. I really hope that in me talking about this, I experience a level of healing that I have not yet experienced in my life, in my heart, and in my mind, in regards to like life up until this point, and especially this year. I just really hope that through this video I'm able to come to terms with how things have played out, and to furthermore come up with a plan to make next year better and brighter for me. So these past 2 years, it's crazy because it doesn't even feel like 2 years have passed. 2020 and 2021 were both very difficult years for me. And it's so crazy because like I never imagined me saying those words and like even living life how I'm living it right now. I never once saw myself being in this place, and I feel like that is just a straight up true demonstration of what life is itself. It's so complex. It's just crazy. It's mind-boggling because like no one can ever fully see how their life will play out. Nobody's perfect, and it's just like, it's just crazy. I'm just trying to come to terms with how I feel about everything. 2020 is when I felt like I lost myself. Just as far as my mental health, y'all, it was hard. Y'all, I can't even sit here and even tell you in full confidence what was happening in my life. All I know is that it just didn't feel right. Like I didn't know who I was. Eating habits became horrible, lost a bunch of weight. I didn't have an appetite. I cried I cried almost every day since the month of March in 2020, like just crazy stuff. It wasn't even crazy stuff that happened in regards to the pandemic, but it was just like mentally I was just somewhere else, and I couldn't quite understand the shift that had taken place in me. It was just like it felt so off. I remember the last day of 2020, we were at home, we were in quarantine, and I just remember feeling so somber, like just feeling so sad, because I couldn't even tell you what I was sad for, but I just felt so sad because 2020, I felt like I didn't even know what was happening. I remember filming a YouTube video, I would say probably almost an exact year from today. And for that video, I had to keep stopping and restarting because I couldn't stop crying. Just thinking about how 2020 played out for me was so devastating and difficult to get through. And I remember I didn't even post that video, and I told y'all I wound up actually having to refilm a completely different video because that first video that I recorded was just so vulnerable, and I just wasn't ready to show the world yet that I was going through such a tough time. I'm just one of those folks, like if I'm going through a time, I'm not gonna post about it just yet. Like I have to at least gain my bearings on the issue at least sometime afterwards to then be able to share it, like because it's my natural reaction to just bottle a lot of stuff in. So I wasn't even ready to release that. Going into 2021, I wasn't even excited. Like I really wasn't. Like I was just like, okay, God, hopefully this year is better, because I honestly don't know what's happening in my life right now. 2021 didn't come in excited, but heard a few sermons that really excited me about the year, and I was like, wow, okay, this year I'm going to grow deeper in God. This year my relationship is going to grow better. This year I'm going to find myself, right? I made a whole list of things that I hope to accomplish this year, and I can honestly say that on that list I accomplished quite a few things, but I can also say that there are things that I didn't accomplish, and I'm going to confidently say that it was because of me. I stood in my own way. When I look back on my mental health journey and just my journey overall as a human being, I feel like I allowed my emotions to get in the way when it came to a lot of my decisions, when it came to me feeling so sad and unfulfilled, instead of being more self-disciplined, instead of getting more in my word and praying about it, I instead looked to others, looked to certain habits and behaviors to fill that void, instead of going and praying about it, instead of, you know, journaling about it more, instead of doing things that were constructive. I instead cried in the bed. I isolated myself. I understand that I didn't necessarily deal with it in a healthy way, but I dealt with it in a very human way. With that being said, looking at my actions and behaviors that I have really that I've gone through this year, that I've done, I'm learning. I find myself now on this journey of self-forgiveness, forgiving myself for things that I knew better, but I didn't do better. Forgiving myself for things that I can't take back, and realizing, yo, I can't take it back, so that means I need to move forward. I feel like in 2022, self-discipline is something that I definitely want to exhibit more of. Doing what's better for me and not chasing anything that's not connected to my destiny or anything that is going to bring me goodness in the long run. Really staying connected to God is something that I really want to get back into. And I'm not waiting for a new year for me to do that. It really starts now. Basically, just 2022, I want to start speaking affirmations over myself. And I'm just so thankful that even now, I'm able to look back on this year and not feel such strong feelings of despair. I thank God for his grace and mercy that I'm not somewhere crying or losing my mind. I thank God that he's kept me this far. And I just pray that he will continue to carry me through this next year. And I pray that I'm able to see growth in myself. I remember a few times this year, I opened up to folks and I told them, like, I honestly don't know what I'm doing with my life. I feel like I don't know who I am. And one thing I've heard every single time from these people is they've told me, they're like, well, honestly, it may be a good thing that you don't recognize who you are, because if you could always recognize who you are throughout the years, then that means that maybe you're not growing, maybe you're not evolving, but maybe this new person that you're seeing, you should welcome her, you should embrace her, because that means that you're growing and you're changing. And that really shifted my perspective. I think for me, remembering all of those empowering nuggets, something that can help get me through. I just like claim it over my life, over my space, over my atmosphere. In 2022, you're finding peace. In 2022, you're becoming more resilient. In 2022, you're becoming more confident. In 2022, you're becoming more self-disciplined. In 2022, you're becoming more selfless. In 2022, you're becoming more kind. In 2022, you're becoming more gentle. In 2022, you're growing deeper in God. In 2022, you are finding you. I lost myself, bro. Like, even in me not recognizing myself, I allowed those feelings and those emotions of being lost, I allowed that to pull me away from God even more, because I felt like, Lord, where are you? Like, I don't even feel close to you when I pray anymore. I allowed my feelings to dictate my discipline. And ultimately, I just lost sight of God, like, period. And that's so, I don't even know what to say. But it just got to a point where I'm like, Lord, I feel like I'm doing my life by myself. And that's never how we're supposed to feel, you know? So this year, there will be new things, new blessings, new beginnings. This year, there will be some shifts that will happen in my life. And Lord, I just pray that I'm ready for each and every one of them. I'm ready for the ride. 2022, here I come.